Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new series on my YouTube channel, the first series in quite a while. We are going to be building a full-scale NoLimits 2 roller coaster from start to finish, fully detailed, probably like more detailed than you've probably seen a series like this on YouTube before. I mean I can't, off the top of my head, I don't really know of anyone that's really attempted anything like this in the same sort of way I'm planning on attempting this. So obviously people have done like let's builds of roller coasters in NoLimits before and stuff, but however this one's going to be a little bit different in the sense that I'm going to go like into loads and loads of detail. The plan is to so obviously here at the moment we're building in a program called Force Vector Design, which is used to build roller coasters in NoLimits. Obviously there are different ways of building roller coasters in NoLimits. You can do hand building. However, Force Vector Design is used, for me, I find it a lot easier to use this program to make roller coasters. Hand building is very time consuming, placing nodes and roll points and stuff, whereas this, you can get a good layout done in a couple of hours. I know by no means am I a pro at Force Vector Design. There are people who are a lot more experienced with it and who are a lot better and have a lot more knowledge of it than I do. My knowledge is quite basic, I'd say. But I can build like a smooth roller coaster layout in it. I can build like a decently smooth roller coaster layout in it that like could be considered realistic. At the moment here we're building a Intamin launch roller coaster. The actual name of the ride is going to be called Dr. Frinks Flyers. So like the plan is for it to be like a fully detailed Intamin launch roller coaster using LSM launches. You can see like the launch track there, and actually before the launch track you can see like this weird thing coming out of the station, like a weird bit of track. And that's actually going to be a drop track. The ride's going to, so basically the idea is that so it's called Dr. Frinks Flying Rockets. The idea is that the train is a rocket, and so the rocket's going to like move forward and drop into the sort of launch bay, and then it'll be launched out, and then it'll like travel through loads of buildings and stuff. And the idea is that like this guy called Dr. Frink, with his little army of robots, which are probably going to be called like Frink bots, he's like a crazy strained inventor who's invented this this new sort of rocket thing that can fly around buildings and stuff, and that's the idea of the roller. That's basically the theme of the roller coaster. So yeah, so obviously we're building the layout. You can see I did a top hat. Regarding that top hat, so you can see here in FVD, I'm building most of it using force sections, but that top hat was done using geometric sections. So with Intamin in real life, I believe they mostly use geometric sections for most of their roller coasters. I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that they use geometric sections in terms like for building their roller coasters. For me, however, I'm not that skilled at FVD. I'm not good enough to just build using geometric sections. My layouts don't look very good, and the G's are all off. I'm not very good at controlling the G's when using geometrics, like especially the lateral G forces. I'm just not very good at using geometric sections. I mean, I can do it for the top hat because that's just a relatively simple like part of the roller coaster to make. But the rest of it has to be done using for me anyway. I use force sections just because I'm just used to using force sections. Again, like I said, I'm not a force vector design expert, but I just like using it. I still think it looks like an Intamin personally. I mean, obviously people can disagree. I know there are a lot more people out there who are much better at track shaping and sort of working out how like a certain manufacturer should look like in comparison to me. But yeah, I was pretty happy with how this layout started to look. You can see there's like quite a lot of airtime in it. There's an inversion, and it's mostly just airtime focused. It's quite an intense ride. The launch is 70 miles an hour. It's quite a quick accelerating launch. Like you can see the launch track is quite short, and then yeah, it just takes them like really tight, quick, and the rest of it is like quite low to the ground because I want to build like a almost like a town or almost like a small city around the ride as like part of the theme. So like I want it to be like a futuristic rundown city, and then like Dr. Frink's factory is like the station, and it's based in the middle of that city, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the sort of plan for this ride going forward. Like I said, there should be like a lot of detail. So I'm going to make custom trains because I don't like the Intamin in-game accelerator trains because I like the old gen trains. Whereas nowadays Intamin use like lap bar trains. So I'll be making custom trains, and that will probably be in the next episode. The custom trains, and obviously there's going to be a drop track, which I just explained. That will also have to be scripted in. There's like a really good tutorial on YouTube. I can't remember the name of it right now, but when I get to that episode of putting in the drop track, I'll definitely reference that tutorial so you guys can also like learn how to do it yourselves as well, because it is quite simple and it's like a really cool feature to be able to have on a ride. I've done it before with one of my old roller coasters. If you look back through my YouTube videos, Terra Trail, it was like a GCI Woody. They didn't really turn out that well. I'm really disappointed with the layout itself when I look back on it, because it's just really slow and it doesn't really look like a GCI. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going off topic here. So yeah, like I said, yeah, this is the launch coaster that I plan to build for this series. This will be like an ongoing series. I know I'm not very good with keeping up with series and things, but I have a lot of motivation for this one. I've been thinking about it quite a lot. I've wanted to be doing. I wanted to do something different, because I know with Planet Coaster, like a lot of people do Planet Coaster, and it's quite hard to find like a niche sort of thing to do in Planet Coaster. Whereas with this, I feel like I haven't really seen it done before. Correct me again if I'm wrong. I think Flux did. He's like a big YouTuber. He did like he created like these dueling woodies, which I guess it like could be considered like quite a detailed creation, like a let's build, let's play creation. But this one is going to be like all about like the modeling. So I'm going to be using SketchUp, Blender, obviously NoLimits, and loads of other programs to like sort of really bring this ride to life. I have loads of ideas in my head, and it's quite annoying actually. I just keep thinking of new ideas, and it's just like I can't get them out fast enough. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna just let the time lapse run for a little bit, and then I'll be back at the end of it just to talk a little bit more about what got built. So thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will talk to you in a little bit. Okay, so here it is, the finished layout for Dr. Frinks Flying Rockets. I'm going to butcher that name, and I'm going to keep forgetting it, but that is the name of the ride as of yet. It might change if I can think of anything better, but at the moment it's just Dr. Frinks Flying Rockets. Yeah, so anyway, so we just saw the train launch there. I'm going to do a point of view of it in just a minute. I just wanted to go over like a few details of the track layout itself. So obviously you got the launch here, the 70 miles per hour launch, and it goes straight into this airtime hill. This one's not very strong. It's more like floaty. It just pulls 0 Gs as you go over it, and it's not like you can tell that it's not going to really be that forceful. But as you come to this one here, there's a bit more of a bump to it. It pulls up to, I think it's like -1 G over there, so that's a bit of ejector airtime, and I thought that'd be like quite cool, just coming out of the launch and straight into some ejector airtime before you go up the top hat. It's just quite fun to throw like an element in before the top hat, I think. It just gives it a bit more excitement. And then obviously the top hat, it's like an airtime moment in itself. That pulls like, I think in the back car it's like -1.5 Gs as you come off the end of that, off the edge of that top hat, which is quite a lot. Yeah, so then you obviously go down the top hat, you can see the next train here coming, and then you just go into like a series of just sort of elements really. So you've got like this overbanked airtime thing, again that pulls like some really strong airtime moment, like airtime here, you're about -1 again, so it's like overbanked here, and then it goes straight into some airtime, and then into like a normal airtime hill, into the inversion, this looping thing, which is just, you know, it's quite forceful going around it, it's sustaining some high force going around it, and then into like some negative Gs coming off it, again into another airtime hill, and then into this weird Stengel turn, Stengel, whatever you call it, into like a double down, which again provides some great airtime, into like a twisty section, and then to a double up into the mid-course brake run, and then lastly just like a few sort of like turns and twists just to finish off the ride, just to sort of bring the capacity up on the ride a little bit so it can run 4 trains, which is like, I'm not a massive fan of using mid-course brake runs because they kind of break the flow of the ride a little bit, and they do break the flow of the ride a little bit on this roller coaster. Like it does slow down a bit, and it, like the last part of the course is noticeably slower than the first part of the course, but from like a realistic standpoint I feel like it'd be used. Like this would be like a high-end Merlin sort of ride, I guess, like how you could compare it to like a real like life roller coaster. Like I don't think it's quite going to be Universal Disney standards, but like maybe like a high-end Merlin ride, or you know, like parks who build like who like to use theming but like don't go overboard on it, like, you know, it's Disney, Universal, Fantasyland, things like that. So yeah, like I said, like, so yeah, that's the why maybe like capacity needs to be a bit higher, so that's why the mid-course brake run's there. Otherwise capacity would be a bit of a nightmare. There wouldn't be many trains going out, you wouldn't get many people through this thing in 1 hour. But yeah, so yeah, that's the layout. That's like a brief description of the layout. What I'll do now is I'll jump on this train if I can. Oh, let me just get to the right train. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the weird jacked up bit for the you know, the drop section, and then we'll just wait here, and I probably won't talk throughout the ride because I've pretty much explained it already. So yeah guys, if you just want to enjoy the ride, and I'll be back in a second just to finish up this episode. And that is the ride. That's the complete layout of Dr. Frinks flying rockets. Again, I'm almost butchering the name there. But yeah, so like I said, there's still loads to come obviously. In the next episode we'll be focusing on getting these trains changed over into some newer Intamin trains, as these ones are a bit outdated, and this is like supposed to be like a sort of modernish ride, like a 2015-2016 ride. So yeah, these trains need to be changed, and also for the launch, the drop track to work, they also need to be changed. I can't use those trains and have a functioning drop track, unfortunately. So yeah, that is like, so next episode is going to be focused on the trains, like I said, and then continuing on from that, we obviously need to add all the supports, the infrastructure to the ride, all the scenery. So yeah, there's quite a lot of episodes worth of content in building this ride. And I'm probably going to add other rides around the area. Instead of it just being a ride, it would probably be like a fully themed area, hopefully. So not quite a park, because a park would just be like too draining on my computer, like require too many resources. But yeah, like a fully themed land might be the way to go with this one, or at least a couple of rides and maybe like some shops and things, just to bring the area alive. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. Obviously the ride's just started, it doesn't look like much at the moment. It's just the layout, but it will get better over time as we add more detail and things. But yeah, once again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back as soon as I can with another episode.